Hey everybody, I'm Guapo. This is Kenny Powers, and you're listening to Trash Talk, the Thru Hikers podcast. What's going on,
Welcome.
KP?
Oh, not much, man. Episode 2.
Episode 2. Here we go.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in to episode 1. That was enormous for us. I know there's a lot of excitement on everybody's part about getting it out. Wasn't the best, but we got to polish the turd a little bit more.
No, I think we
Make
did
it
pretty
work.
good. Yeah, it's a learning
Yeah, we did.
process.
It is. And so I want to thank everybody who was waiting for it to drop, asking when it was dropping. That was amazing. Made us feel great. So thank you very much.
We love you guys.
Yeah,
We wouldn't,
absolutely. Thank you.
this wouldn't exist without your eyeballs. So,
Yeah, I mean,
and
the
you.
fact you just want to listen to us two ramble for
Yeah.
hours, or I guess half an hour last time. But yeah.
Yeah.
So today, or what have you been up to, man?
So just, kind of trying to get myself back into the flow of the matrix, struggling with looking for work, and it's not gonna front, man, it's been pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is real, man, it's real.
Hey, hashtag get Guapo a job.
Yeah, man,
Listeners, get
Cash
Guapo a
App,
job. Let's
Cash
go.
App Venmo.
Yeah, Cash App, Venmo, in the personal Instagrams. Um, yeah.
No, it's I got a couple leads. I got a couple leads. I'm gonna be taking my licensing back for my asbestos work that I used to do.
Nice.
So yeah, things are, the ball's rolling, just
Yeah,
very,
that's
very
good.
slowly, unfortunately.
That's good. Yeah.
How about
So
yourself, bud?
I got my first visit from a friend on trail. Uh, Mummy came out on her way out to her new job out in the west, and got to go hiking for a little bit. Went for a run, hung out. It was a good time. Just
Nice.
nice to meet up with someone I spent so much time with on trail.
Yeah, how much hiking have you been doing?
Yeah. Quite a bit. I mean, not compared to what we were doing, but I've been getting out about once a week. At the moment, running about once a week. Just things hurt. I'm old
Yeah,
now.
yeah, you are. Heard that.
So other than that, just trying to get outside as much as possible. Trying to keep the legs in shape for this winter.
Yeah. So you got something pretty cool coming up. Why don't you tell
Yes.
tell the folks about that?
I fell into the opportunity to be a guest on a podcast, a local podcast here that, I mean, pretty cool. The name of it is Discussion Combustion. You can find it on YouTube, everywhere you want to see it. But yeah, I filmed for that in a couple days, and it's exciting.
Very cool.
Exciting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Don't forget to pick our brains so we learn to do better what we are doing as well.
That is the plan. That is the plan for sure. I had something, but I forgot.
All good.
It's typical.
Yeah.
So yeah, this week we have a guest. This man is a legend this year, in my opinion,
and will be for many years to come.
Absolutely, and truly one of the sweetest dudes you'll ever meet. Wild, crazy, just a great time. Let me say hello, and please join me Please join me in welcoming the one, the only, Big Z.
Big Z, everybody.
Big Z.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
The homie, what's up?
What's going on? Good to see you, fellas.
Where you at these days?
I am in the beautiful city of Richmond, Virginia.
Wow.
God bless it, man. God bless it.
Nice.
Somehow the month and a half I spent in Virginia wasn't enough. I had to come back and get some more.
I mean,
well,
did we all
from the
spend
woods to
enough
the
time
city.
in Virginia?
Yep. Hey, and I don't know if y'all have ever been here, but it's really flat here. It's kind of nice.
Cities
always
tend to
flat,
be that way.
right?
Yeah.
Out here's flat too, until you go a little bit further west. But
So Z, what's been going on with you post trail, man? How have you been getting back into it?
It's been pretty difficult post trail, and pretty nonstop. I yeah, I hitchhiked back to Kentucky, and Bird went to Connecticut, and then Bird met me in Kentucky. I went and saw my aunt and uncle in Western Kentucky, and then we shot to Florida for about a week. So we got to kind of play around in paradise land before shit got real serious.
Yeah, no, did a
Um,
little traveling. That's dope.
yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
was cool. We were really trying to come up on a van or a bus, but our window of opportunity just kept closing with the money that we were spending out on the road. So
Hashtag give him a bus.
yeah, hashtag get us a bus. Yeah, seriously, true story. Um,
Hashtag
but
give me a bus.
yeah, hey, we all
You get
get
a
buses.
bus. You get a
You
bus.
get a
Yeah.
bus.
But yeah, in
Shit.
Florida, it was really hard trying to make anything work. So we heard Gone was in Richmond, so we shot up here. We were originally going to New Jersey to look at a van, but we like Richmond so much that we decided to just stay here and make some money, hunker down, rest, recover, and we'll look at the van or the bus here in a few months.
Awesome, dude.
So,
Awesome.
so, um, you mentioned Bird and Gone. You want to
Yeah.
tell the audience who Bird and Gone are?
All right. So Bird and Gone are
And these are
my
trail
original.
names.
Oh yeah, those are trail names, obviously. They're my original Tramley, along with Slug. That was the original group of people that I started hiking with. Um, Bird is my girlfriend, and
Oh,
yeah.
trail
We're about
of.
80 miles in, and for those that don't know, we ended up hiking the whole trail together.
They are
So
the
that was
homies.
a pretty special experience for me.
Yeah,
Love happens out in the woods.
it,
It does.
a lot of
It
stuff
does.
happens in the woods.
A lot of stuff.
Touche.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Good to see you're doing
Um,
good, and congratulations on getting your job.
yeah. I landed a job this morning, actually.
That's
Nice,
awesome.
man.
That's
So
great.
Congrats. That's
yeah.
huge.
Yeah, it doesn't pay a lot, but it's low key. I'm
It's
gonna
a
be
job.
still. Yeah, it's a job. Exactly.
Right.
It's better than what I had yesterday.
Exactly. That's one
Yeah,
step forward, right?
absolutely.
Paycheck's a paycheck,
Good
man.
shit. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean that paycheck to paycheck. That's kind of what you were doing on trail.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of was.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I guess
more.
let's just dive right into that, man.
Yeah.
I have a couple pieces. Well,
Next
we'll see. Well, that's all I'll say.
class of 2024. If you guys are watching this, you're gonna run into Big Z all over this goddamn trail.
Everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. You will not need to look. Why don't you let the folks know how did
There's
how
a
did
couple
that
places you're gonna have to look. There's a
there are,
couple
oh, there's
places you're
plenty
gonna
that you're
have
gonna
to
have to
look.
look for.
You're gonna have to look real hard to
Don't
find
get it twisted. There's not a couple. There are plenty of those as well.
them. Plenty of them.
But yeah, man, why don't you tell the folks how did you come into, I don't want to say sort of supporting yourself on the trail, but in a big way, that how did that all turn about? How did that get going?
Well, when I originally came out to trail, I didn't really do a lot of Googling. I didn't realize there was going to be this big of a community. And I didn't come out here with a lot of money. So I had this idea that I was going to be able to lick the whole thing in about 5 months and eat rice and lentils. And, I was never going to stay at a hostel. This is literally what I was thinking. And like day two, I was taking baths in creeks. Like I was out here living this life from the beginning.
Day two.
Seriously. Uh,
Day
and
two.
dude,
You
can
ain't
ask
even
Mom.
dirty yet. You
No,
ain't
I
even
wasn't.
dirty yet.
I
It
wasn't. I was
happens
just.
quick, KP. It happens
I
quick.
was dropping into the lifestyle, baby. I had this whole
Yeah.
vision of what this was going to be.
Full immersion.
But I quickly realized that this was going to take a lot more money than I had. And I had to figure that out.
Yeah.
So that's really where it all started. And I decided, one of the visions I had early on trail was to be a living artist. And that somehow after trail, I was going to pursue my art career, and I wouldn't have to get a job. That's the dream. Is that I don't work for somebody, and I do art, and I make people happy, and I make these wonderful connections, and I got enough to eat and live.
Hell yeah.
You know,
Starving artist is a real term for a reason.
seriously.
Yeah.
Um,
So how did
so I
so the folks that are listening probably trying to figure out what exactly it was you were doing. What were you doing while moving up and down?
well, I started to. I knew everyone was talking about trail days, and I knew that there was going to be this huge hiker event. And I had started to think, what is some type of art that I could provide at this event to make some
Hell
money? And we all have trail names, right? Or most of us did. So because I'm a lettering artist, it was a quick avenue to I'm going to get some canvases and some paint shipped to Trail Days, and I'm going to draw people's trail names on these
awesome.
canvases and do a donation based deal. Um, So that's exactly what I ended up doing. My art journey really started in Irwin, Tennessee. I ran into a guy named Giggle Shits,
Shout
and
out.
Giggle
yes, shout out
shits.
Giggle Shits.
Shout
He
out Giggle
deserves
Shit.
this shout out. I
Yeah, I love that
told
motherfucker.
him about my original vision, what I was going to start doing with the art. He pulled out
Yeah.
$20 and instantly said, "I'll be your first customer."
Boom.
Um, yeah, dude, it lit a fire up under me. I came up with these ideas as I was hiking,
We
and
talked about it a lot
we did. Yep, Station
on the
19.
marathon day.
Yeah, and even before
Yeah,
then, at Station 19 is when
yeah.
we really, yeah,
Hanging out with Ballsack. Shout out
yeah,
Ballsack.
ball sack. Yep,
One of the best hostel managers ever.
you know it.
You know it. But yeah, so sorry about that. Yeah, I remember talking about that a lot when we
Absolutely.
decided to do that.
But whenever, having that positive feedback, and because that's what I wasn't experiencing out in the Matrix, or off
Yeah.
trail, I should say, is I come up with a cool idea. There's not a community of people that's like, "Hey, man, that's awesome. I support you." Everyone's kind of
Here's
hating
20
and,
bucks.
"Oh, yeah, why are you gonna do that?" This, that, and the other. So it was really the feedback from the community that gave me part of the courage to keep pursuing this.
Right
Mm-hmm.
on. Yeah,
And
it's so cool too because the way the trail progresses, like your whole project really progressed. It became bigger and bigger and bigger.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
So how many
And
how
so,
many actual pieces did you like for large scale things like murals for hostels and stuff did you end up doing?
so not as many as I would have liked to.
Right,
There
right.
was a lot of hiking involved that really kind of screwed that up. but
Go figure.
it
What the
I
always
hell?
did. I want
hiking
to
always
say,
ruins towns, doesn't
yeah, I swear.
it? Just ruins my vacation.
I want to say with spray paint, because anything that's going to be larger scale for me, I'm going to do a spray paint.
Yeah.
I probably did 7 or 8 projects.
That's that's
Um,
that's huge though, man. That's so crazy.
That's a
yes,
lot.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
awesome.
Definitely
and
like no money
I
to get
used
the spray paint.
I used paint brushes for the first time in my life on trail.
That's when I met you.
Um, yeah,
At Boots Off,
yep, yep,
right?
yeah,
You were you
exactly.
Yeah.
you were injured. You kicked it there for a little while, and I think you were what were you making signs for that goddamn hill?
Yes, tell your feet you're almost there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right on.
So anybody hiking next year, you have to stop at Boots Off. It
Yeah,
has the best shower on trail, one
100%.
of the best hostels. The owner Jim is amazing, and as you hike up that hill, you'll see the 3 signs that I painted at my first work for stay opportunity on trail.
Hell yeah. Very cool.
Hmm.
So with a lot of those projects you were doing, were they work for stays? Did you get paid for some of them?
I did get paid for some. Ultimately, I do feel like I don't know. I don't know if I should say this or not,
Probably could
but
have got paid a little more from some
Hey,
others.
this is
Absolutely.
trash
Yeah.
talk. Say what you
Yeah.
want.
No,
Yeah,
and yeah, I
we're
mean,
honest in here.
well, I don't want to seem ungrateful. I was
No.
very grateful for my experience, and where I may have been underpaid by somebody, there was always somebody that would come around and bless me in some type of way. So,
Mm.
I had the experience of a lifetime. I really did. I don't want to make it seem like that, but yeah, you know,
Hey,
I put out a few
so
$100s of art sometimes for about $50.
Yeah, right,
yeah.
right.
So for
Yeah.
those who don't know, a work for stay on the Appalachian Trail, and that's what we're talking about here is the Appalachian Trail. That's what we've hiked. Um, you know, we'll talk
So
about other
far.
trails eventually, but so far, but we'll talk about other ones later. But right now, that's what this show's right now is about, the Appalachian Trail. So just to be clear for that. Also, a work for stay at a hostel. Z, would you like to explain? I didn't do one. You did a lot of them. If you want to explain what one of those is.
Yeah. So essentially, it varies from hostel to hostel, but if you're in a situation where you don't have a lot of money to pay for a stay and a lot of your friends are going to a hostel and they have the money, some hostel owners will allow you to do simple duties in exchange or instead of paying the money to stay there.
Okay.
Um, and that could vary between, flipping bed sheets to doing chopping wood to doing yard work to doing artwork. Whatever their need is, you could fill that. Or if you have your own thing that you could do, go pitch these people. They say yes all the time.
And they're only
Yeah.
usually about what, like an hour or two of work, if that, right? Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Just
think
don't be.
the
I just
thing
don't
is
want
they
to
know
be fear
you're,
mongering of a work for stay. I wanted people to know, like, hey, if there's ways to do this with not much money. You just got to be lucky a little bit,
You
but
do.
you have to have that ability to ask for help. Like, that's what the trail teaches you too. And so work for stays is one of those examples. Is be brave enough to, hey, can I work for stay? I mean, that's a great way to save money.
yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
opportunities are out there if you're,
They are.
if you hustle a little bit,
And if
for
you
sure.
use your creativity, you can find a way to continue on down that trail. And I mean, Z, you did two pieces of art for me. Um,
Yep.
one on my fanny pack. I've got a picture of it here because unfortunately it got washed. And yeah, so now I got to send it back to you to get it redone. But also my pack you
Yes.
did in Delaware Water Gap. And
Lots of packs.
and you wrote a very special message to me on that one. And it every time I looked at it, it kind of gave me that, fuck yeah, that's what I'm doing here. Um,
What did it say?
hike to heal.
Oh,
Oh,
wow. Yeah,
yeah,
Hike
cool.
to
that's
heal.
beautiful.
And
I remember writing that now. Yeah.
yeah, and I had to switch packs, and I was like, "Fuck, I don't get the summit with this art on my pack." And then I was like, "If I return it, I lose the art too." So it's like, I guess I got to eat it. And then I, switched packs. But it's like toward the end, like I would remember that you had written that on that artwork, from time to time when I was putting on the new pack. Like it was still with me. It
Good.
just wasn't physically with me. And
That's cool.
yeah, so that's a little story that I don't know if you knew the impact of that. Definitely in Delaware Water Gap with how I was feeling at the time. Um, yeah, we got to know each other really well there.
Mm-hmm.
And what? Didn't we have the? Were you there talking with us and Witch Doctor and like our little men's group we had?
Mm-mm. It
Were
wasn't
you? No.
there.
Okay.
I painted your
Well,
pack in Duncannon.
it wasn't Duncan. Yeah, that's what I'm
Yep.
talking about. Yeah, that's
Yep.
where I was talking about. Yeah, the church hostel.
Yes. Amazing
Duncannon
time.
was my lowest point and one of my highest points. So it was
How was that?
the low point was a lot to do with Matrix, back in the Matrix shit. Like I
Is
discussed last episode, I had a lot of personal issues going on.
right. You had to get off trail for a bit. Was that around that time?
I it was right. I got off trail for a week right before that.
Roger. Yeah. Okay.
And that was kind of the fallout um, from that was, all the emotions. I started hiking again for about, I think it was a week, 2 weeks maybe. after that, and it all kind of caught up to me, and it got really dark. Got in a really dark place,
Yeah.
and caught myself thinking things I never wanted to think ever, and I admitted to myself like, "Yo, you need to go talk to somebody." So I called a couple buddies and got my, called. I think I called the was wife too, and
Nice,
talked
man.
with her and accepted like it's okay for me to feel like this. It's just it's okay to be down.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
okay to it's okay to hit that rock bottom emotionally. Just in knowing you're gonna come out stronger on the other side.
Right. And
So
yeah, again,
I had kind of needed to refocus on why the fuck I was out on the Appalachian Trail, and that was it was never a thought of quitting, but it was like why I'm out here now, why, and it's like okay, well, keep walk until you
Yeah.
find out why. But it took
That's why I wrote
three.
that on your pack.
Yeah, because we talked
That's
about
why.
that, and
Yeah.
I walked. I took 3 days off there and solo camped by myself for the first time, like that night, the next day, and it was kind of it. Everything started getting better after that. Like I had so many cool stories. When I was doing Kenny cures I did a Kenny cure on Loon, and her dog had come up to me and dropped a tick off, and she pulled the tick out
yeah, I
after
saw
I
that one.
done painting her nails, and we kind of both looked at each other, and she's like, "Is it weird? I want to put this on my thumb." I was like, "Nope." I had the same thought. So that was like kind of the start of I was happier.
Yeah.
Like I could be happy then. Like it's
I
okay
think
for me to
that
be happy and do what I want to do.
I think that's the whole point of the trail, man. It's the come out there to try to become that again and figure
Mm-hmm.
that way out, and you do. Z, I mean, how about you, man? Were you did you have a lot of ups and downs mentally? Where was your head going when you were out hiking alone or in those places?
Yeah, I had a ton of ups and downs. It's weird how some days on the trail could be my worst and best day at the same time, with how up and down things were.
Yeah.
But yeah, I came out here with a lot to hike on, a lot to work through.
It's a good way to put
Um,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
A
Yeah,
lot
you
to
for
hike
know,
sure.
on.
yeah, I needed a separation from the environment that I was in.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't in a supportive environment. I was in a hostile environment, and I needed to calm down,
Me too.
as we would say on trail.
You need to calm down. You need to calm
Yeah.
down, Z.
Did it
So a lot
work?
of those,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it did. Yeah, yeah, it did. It did. There was a lot of hard truths that I just came face to face with, and on my hike, I would hope that here in a couple months, I won't feel this way about this anymore. In some
Mm,
circumstances, I feel the same way about it than I do after trail than I did before. But I just have the clarity of knowing that, that was after 6 months of hiking. I got to see
yeah.
things for what they really were, you know?
Nice.
But
Hell
yeah.
yeah, man. I dig that. Fuck yeah,
Yeah.
dude. So let's how do you guys feel about switching it up a bit and doing a little bit of hiker trash show and tell?
I'm down with that.
So
So
this
I
is a
think
concept.
yeah, we're
I
gonna
think at some point
go ahead, Z.
I think at some point we should double back about painting the packs because Kenny brought it
No,
up.
I was coming back to that.
Okay.
So a little bit ago, we were talking about that little message that you wrote on my pack, and how impactful that message was. You know, for me to go out and hike on my own for a couple days, and like it was impactful. Like, I don't think you realize how much impact it was, but how many people's packs did you do after that? I mean, you carried around a huge bag of paint markers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I carried about 3.5, 4 pounds of acrylic paint pens,
That's some love.
and I think that I painted about 35 packs.
35 packs.
I think so. Yeah, that's the best number I've been able to come up with.
And you
And
charge. I mean, you charged for that. That was your hustle.
I did. I didn't initially. But at some point, I got to give the credit to Bird here. She looked at me and she said, "You have to name a price."
Yeah.
And once I did, no one batted an eye at it.
I think I was the first one that sent you $35. I was like, "Do it, bud."
Yeah.
And yeah. So yeah, that's a hustle, man.
Yeah. Well, and that was better than the hostel stuff, the work for stay, because I got to connect with people on a deeper level, and it gave me a chance to connect my artwork with my spiritual mission, with those intuitive moments of just writing "Hike to Heal." I didn't remember writing that, but it was very impactful to you. I'm sure that's the case with maybe a few of the other packs I did. But with the hostels, it kind of felt like work. With the packs, it was really one of the coolest parts of my hike was being able to do that for people.
Yeah, and you'd see them up and down the trail too. And I know because there was a couple folks in my later tramley that you did a few for, and they were definitely some heavy meaning to them, and they wore them proud. Speaking of Big Z's artwork,
yeah, there it is.
that one right there.
And I'm taking commissions. Everybody, hit me up.
There you go.
There's a plug.
Let the folks know where you can where to. I guess you know what? We'll just put it right
Follow
here. Boop. Boop. All right. I love the magic of editing.
Yes,
I know.
This isn't getting edited out. You know that, right? Like, he's gonna keep it in here just because that's him. And if you don't know who him is, it is our homie Snapshot, who did such an amazing editing job on episode 1.
Always major shout out to Snapshot.
I could just say "fuck you, Kenny Powers," and Snapshot will edit it out.
No, he wouldn't. He better not. Shout out to Gadget, who would randomly yell that while he saw me recording.
Yeah.
He was doing some like acoustical, interesting shit, like bouncing it off rocks and trying to throw it. He was getting very creative. So thank you for that, Gadget.
Gadget is incredible.
Yeah. Oh, I can cuss all I want. Thanks, Snapshot.
He was talking to me. He said, "I can curse Kenny Powers as much as I want."
When you were doing these people's packs and you said there was a connection and you got to know them, that wasn't intentional, or was it, or did it just naturally happen?
A little bit of both. Because it was a hustle, so I kind of had to stay open to, whoever. But there were people I didn't like, and I wouldn't have painted their pack if I just wouldn't have. And there were people that I really liked that was on, the same financial plan as me, and they got a free pack. It's just
what your heart felt.
Yeah, so some of it was intentional, and then some of it was just random and happenstance. And I painted someone's pack, and that was the only time I've ever seen them in my whole life.
Yeah.
Never saw them before, never saw them again. But
you had Tramley around you hustling you too, trying to get you work.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So that was always good. I mean, that's what the community is, and that's how the community is like. Is you see someone struggling, you're going to go out of your way to help them in some way, and the ones that are there for the right reasons do, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least what I see as the right reason.
Here's a good one. You got any big regrets from the trail? Anything you could have done differently, would have done differently?
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. This is going to be a long episode for you to go shoulda, woulda, couldas.
I have no regrets.
Good answer.
The only thing that borderlines a regret is hiking that goddamn marathon with Kenny and Gadget until 3 o'clock in the morning.
I literally just
only maybe regret.
when we talked about that, we talked about the marathon there, and you were talking about boots off and how you were hurt. I literally wrote down, "Sorry for breaking you before trail days."
Oh, it was
I
bad. My
wrote that.
shoes were blown out. It was terrible.
It was a
It was
good time for a rest afterward, though. We'll have
good.
many episodes just about trail days, I'm sure. And
No,
anybody who has or has not or is going to hike the trail, take your ass to trail days. 1,000%. You will not regret it.
you don't have to party the whole time. It's just a great atmosphere. You get to meet so many great people there.
Yeah, but you also can
Um,
if you want to.
You can
yeah,
party the whole time.
you
Yeah,
can
Yeah.
have a great time.
true story.
You can have a great time no matter what you do. Yeah, I'm sorry, Z. Public apology for breaking you. Um, just happy you caught back up.
Yeah, same.
Me and Guapo were talking, and he brought up, do we have any trinkets? Like, I don't know if you thru hiked or when you thru hiked or if you think about thru hiking, you're going to collect trinkets, in my opinion. Something of value to your, nothing probably any value, but sentimental value. I always refer to the Appalachian Trail as adult summer camp. So we're going to do some show and tell of trinkets.
Trinkets and keepsakes and silly little things that you
Yes.
just kept for
Just couldn't
whatever
get rid of.
reason.
I have plenty of them.
Yeah, a lot of us do have a lot of silly little things. Myself, man, I got a whole shelf shrine of all this crap I kept.
I have a
I
little
guess.
shoebox so far.
Yeah, right on, right on. So hey KP, why don't you start off and show the folks
Okay.
what's your trinket?
So my trinket is something that was created pretty much on trail. I had this really wonderful thought at the beginning that I would collect these and send them home. And just like my YouTube page, that went out the fucking window. And it would be my $40, $2 smart water bottle with all my stickers. And I
Hell
wrote the
yeah, man.
mileage on it. Not to be opened, probably just disgusting. But
What is
yeah.
the mileage? How far did you carry that one?
From mile one, approach trail to Irwin, which was 319.
It's pretty good.
319 miles.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So that's probably a $45 water bottle now.
I recognize a few of those stickers.
Yes, you were there with
Yeah.
me for a few
Yeah.
of those. So yeah, that's my show and tell. It's meaningful to me.
Hey,
It reminds me of the early days.
I kept a lot of my stickered water bottles too. I got like 4 of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to look back and be like, yo, I remember that sticker. I remember that sticker. I remember who I was with.
Right.
All the laughs, all the good times, the shitty times. There's a lot of crappy times. But yeah, that's my trinket
Okay, dude.
for this week.
All right, G, what about you, man?
Yeah.
We had you
All
pick
right.
something. What do you got?
I did. I got my coin purse.
Yes.
Awesome,
Yeah.
That's
dude.
what that was.
Awesome, dude.
And I wrote my name on it, and it's in ink pen, and it's like all faded. It
Wow.
almost looks like it belongs.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. And
Yeah.
what's the significance of said coin purse?
So I'll tell the story of how I got it.
Yes.
I was hiking and kept taking really long breaks, basically avoiding hiking.
No.
And I was trying to do like 19 miles that day. I was by myself. Bird was sick at a hotel. And I decided to stop by Laurel Hostel. Yeah, and just charge my phone for 45 minutes.
Shout
And-
out to Timmy Two Tokes.
Yeah, weird place.
Timmy
Great guy,
Two
though.
This out of
Tokes.
the
Yeah,
drawer.
dude.
Great guy.
Got this out of the drawer.
That sign. I'm sorry. I digress.
You gonna let me tell this, Kenny, or
My
what?
bad, homie. My bad.
I mean, you just keep interrupting me.
Z, I'm gonna shut up this time. If you want to read, you want to do your
Yeah,
show and tell. My
thanks,
bad,
Kenny.
homie. I
Yeah.
apologize.
You're just getting too excited. You need to calm
Yeah.
down. This is my coin purse.
It's a beautiful
Yeah.
coin purse.
I would
It
keep my
is.
tobacco and stuff in here. And I had it since about mile 300.
Awesome.
You carried
Yeah.
it the whole rest of the
It's a
way.
cool trinket.
Oh, yeah. It
Right
was the
on.
one thing I didn't happen to lose because my tobacco was in it.
You needed that.
I did. Bad.
Got to keep that shit close.
Mine was
It's
in my
a
fanny
good
pack.
conditioning for your lungs. It's like an exfoliant for your lungs.
Exfoliant.
What do you got, Guapo?
So mine is well, I was waiting for something to be ready, but it's not. But that's all right. My Yellow Deli coffee
Ah,
mug. Yep, Jack that bad boy from the Yellow Deli. Did not go to the farm. For those of you that don't know, the Yellow Deli on the Appalachian Trail is a cult, religious cult. They try to get you to be a part of their cult and give away all your crap to them. But they also have an incredibly nice hostel and some stores and a farm that they produce
free.
all of their own, all their own goods.
Good food.
Very good. I didn't actually go and eat their breakfast, not once. I did not want anything to do with
I
it.
did.
I stayed in bed, but I did steal a coffee cup. So that is
No,
my trinket. I
you
acquired.
acquired a coffee cup.
Sent it right home. Went
Okay,
right to the
okay.
post office. Yeah.
So I want to go back a little bit, and we were talking about how you thought you were going to go out into the woods and be bathing in creeks and eating lentils and beans. And I believe the first time I met you was around a fire. And would you like to explain your cooking system from the from the beginning?
Yeah, so I actually did a wilderness program in the desert when I was 16 for 50 days, 50 nights. Yeah, so I kind of came out here with that same setup in mind. And it was a primitive type setup. Like we made all our fires with sticks out there, bow drills. Drank all our water from the ground. We ate rice and beans every day. Our packs were 50 pounds, 40 pounds. So, yeah, in the beginning, I had a very big, heavy pot, and I was cooking rice and lentils and beans, and it was the cheapest way for me to get very good calories.
You were using the fire most of the time. You had a fishing pole with you when I met you
Yes,
at
yes,
Fontana Hilton.
yes, I was cooking on the fire. I caught 4
Mm.
largemouth bass at Fontana Hill. I traded the fishing pole for the art supplies. It was around that time when I realized I was definitely going to run out of money. I'll be lucky if I make it a quarter of the way through. Like I went to trail days with $56,
Mm,
and you know what I mean, and
yeah.
Yeah,
left with like 400. I was at zero in Glasgow. I can name like 6 states where my cash had
and
been.
that's Glasgow,
Virginia.
Virginia,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
Damascus,
that,
Virginia, which is right
yeah,
at the border.
yeah. I was cooking on a fire every chance that I could.
And
I lost my
how long
stove
did that?
130 miles in.
Okay, so that's why. Okay, I didn't know if you started with the stove or not, or if you had been cooking on a fire every night.
Well, I had been cooking on a fire every night, even though I had my stove.
Okay,
I was only using my stove for coffee breaks.
hmm. Which we had a
Yeah.
lot of those. What? How many pounds? We went through a pound of coffee, or how much coffee did we go through on that marathon?
Oh, I have no idea.
All of it,
Yeah. We went
all of
through
it.
everything.
So again, obviously you did a lot of art on the trail, murals, packs. When in your life did art become kind of this staple?
So I'm 33 years old. I never considered myself an artist until I was maybe 30 or 31.
Not a lot of drawing and stuff like that when you were a kid, or
There was, but it was all geared towards graffiti art. And I didn't really see myself as an artist. I kind of viewed myself as, some street kid who likes to write his name on shit. But then there was I started to get better. And once I got better and had a friend point out something in my art that was good, then the
yeah.
idea of, oh, maybe I am artistic was planted for like the first time. That friend's name is Sean Hill.
Shout out Sean
Um,
Hill.
Shout out Sean Hill, real talk. Ever since then, I haven't been able to let go of the truth that I am an artist. and I'm starving pursuing that route. I used to make a lot of money, Guapo, in construction, this, that, and the other. It's just not what I want to do anymore.
Yeah, no, I trust me, I know that, man. It's tough trying to be stuck between this creative thing that we have that fills us with so much passion and just like joy and happiness versus the need to have health insurance and pay the goddamn bills.
Yeah.
It ain't easy,
Hmm.
baby. It ain't easy. So not a whole lot of art growing up. 30, early 30s started. How did that all play out?
So really, it was my friendship with Sean. I was still into graffiti, and my friendship with Sean, he would invite me over, and he is a terrific artist, and he's an educated artist. And he would just start breaking down simple art concepts. I've never been to an art class or nothing like that. I didn't know what color theory was, and hanging out with him, I mean, he kind of started exposing me to all of that. And
Nice.
then it kind of grew my obsession. But rather than wanting to do it in the graffiti arena, I want to do it in the world arena or in the community arena.
I mean, you're obviously very talented. It's very clear that it's something that comes naturally to you. And
Yeah.
lettering, I mean, I don't know, folks.
Sorry, guys.
You're good, bro. You're all good.
Fucking war zone. You in Beirut? Where are you? This big ass door. Hold on.
Oh, hell yeah.
So did it come naturally to you, or did it actually take a lot of hard work?
No, it took a lot of hard work. I don't feel like it has ever come naturally until I got to a certain point in my development, and then it started to become more intuitive. My ability to overthink something has really kind of stood in my way of ever even considering art as an avenue for me. Along with my perfectionism, if something's not perfect, I'm not about to show it to the world.
Yeah.
But there was something special about graffiti that allowed me to try these ideas out, and because of the anonymity of it, I had the courage to be vulnerable with my art and put it out for the world to see it. So graffiti kind of was the platform in which, it was my entry into it. Um, but no, it with the obsession of getting better, and constantly thinking about it and drawing. That's really the only way I've gotten to where I am. But now I do believe that I do have some natural talent now that I've gotten better and I'm able to kind of work in that field more.
Yeah, kind of break the
Okay.
break the technique apart and build your
Yes.
own kind of style and brand, if you
Yes.
will.
Yeah, once I
And
Okay.
learned to where I didn't have to think about technique and didn't have to think about, all the details of making the art at one time, and I was able to get into more of a flow state when it came to creating, then it's like, oh yeah, the talent's pouring out of me. But there's a lot of days I can't access that, because of maybe what's going on with me, or it takes me an hour of drawing before I really start getting into the good stuff. But
so,
there's always an element of hard work attached to it for me. But that's
why?
also what keeps me in the game. It's like a puzzle.
How you're explaining you learned how to do art kind of is how you learn how to hike on the Appalachian Trail. Like some days you're just not going to feel it. Some days you're just not going to, you feel like you're the shittiest hiker ever.
Yes, you got to start hiking,
Yeah.
and
Give me,
that's the,
give me
that's the
your,
deal with art. You got to
give
start
me,
hiking.
okay. What day did you start the Appalachian Trail?
So I did the approach trail on the 8th of April
So you
and
started
stayed
at
at
Amicalola.
yeah, Amicalola. Stayed at the shelter just before Springer, so I hiked up Easter morning and started the official AT Easter
So on the ninth.
Nice.
on the 9th. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Wow.
did the same thing a few days earlier.
Yeah. We started on I started on the 5th or 4th, 5th, whatever.
Fourth into fifth for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I started on the
Okay.
approach trail on the 4th and then started AT on the 5th type thing. We met at
Cool.
Hawk Mountain.
My
Very
birthday was
cool.
April 5th,
Yeah.
so I
So,
wanted to be on Springer on my 41st birthday.
And
and I was on
Kenny's birthday
Springer.
is the 4th, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We had a couple. Who else was it? KP that was with us.
the big boy, her
Big Boy
birthday
was
was
all
also the 4th.
Big
April
boy.
4th.
We share the same birthday.
So
Us.
how did you learn about the Appalachian Trail? Did
Uh,
you know about it previously for a while?
yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I've known about it my whole life. It seems. I can't remember the first time I heard about it, but I'm from Kentucky, and the Appalachian Mountain Range runs through there, so I'm kind of in close proximity to the trail. Um,
True.
but I've always, once I heard that there was this continuous footpath from Georgia to Maine through the Appalachian Mountains, you know, of course I want to do that. Who wouldn't? Like, it's
Yeah.
always been an idea of, yo, that's cool. So fast forward when I'm, 32 years old and at a real big transition point in my life and very depressed, and I thought of the trail. It was an easy yes.
Your only outdoors experience was that adventure camp,
I wouldn't quite
No,
call
so
or
it
the
camp.
desert, whatever. Or,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
So there was that, but I grew up hunting and fishing. Like, I was shitting in the woods when I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, my dad taught me how to wipe my ass with leaves when I was a kid. And we didn't dig cat holes. As much as I am a street urchin, I am also a country boy.
Did you have any backpacking experience before you stepped foot on the AT?
No, just
No.
the wilderness deal
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Utah. And that was
Wow.
16 years ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's crazy.
Very cool.
Yeah, because my background in getting into backpacking, or my first backpacking trip, is completely opposite of you two.
Yeah.
So it's
Most
like
are.
it's
Not gonna
interesting.
lie.
It's interesting to hear.
People like Big Z and I are not the majority.
No.
No, but it just shows that people are the shit.
Well,
Just get to know people. Don't
I
judge them.
think, right, exactly. I think it goes to show that there is, even though it's such a, backpacking and especially the AT, is such a small, niche kind of thing, that there really
Mhm.
are such broad spectrum of people and experiences and different backgrounds and cultures. And,
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the coolest part. Like we're all together on this one thing, but we're all so vastly different.
Yeah. And I
That's
mean,
very interesting.
before we started hitting record this morning, you know, I was geeked out to see you, brother. Great
Yeah,
to
I know,
see you.
man.
Um, Unfortunately, we're coming up on an hour. We got to wrap it up, but we'll have to have you
Yeah.
back on for sure.
Oh, yeah. I'll be back. Hey, but
So,
I want to ask a question real quick because what
what's
Guapo
up?
just said. So, what is the common thing that brings us out here? Because it is such a wide spectrum of people. But that's something I've been thinking about. Is what is There's got to be a commonality between us all, don't you think?
So, for sure.
Absolutely.
I think for most, probably at its simplest form, is going to be growth or healing. You know,
Yeah.
growth and healing both come with the idea of change, and we're all out there looking for something different. We're hiking the Appalachian Trail, Appalachian, say it right, or I'll throw an Appalachia. Um, but it's a different thing to do. It's an enormous life change. So if I were to guess, I would say it's probably in that little spectrum of, and again, there's so many different spider webs of which come off of that,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
each one is
I,
individual.
yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely agree. Like for me, it was getting, I was ready to relearn who the hell I was. I mean, I think a lot of people are just kind of lost in who they are. Um, everybody wants to be needs to be their own main character in their life, and I think that's one thing that everybody's looking for out there. At least what I picked up.
No doubt. No doubt.
So yeah,
For
good
sure.
question, Z. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah,
one.
man. Yeah. Because there is just a very wide range of people out there.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And you meet former CEOs of big corporate companies down to you know
Big Z. You know what I
graffiti
mean? Yeah.
graffiti artists from Louisville,
That's
Kentucky.
right, baby. That's right.
So, brother, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to have you sit down with us and catch up.
Right on.
And Fuck yeah, brother. I love you. Keep it up.
Hey,
miss
I
you,
love you
man.
guys. Thank you so much.
We're moving on to next week. We have another guest lined up that someone's very special to me and Guapo for sure.
Who y'all got?
And
We're
do
gonna
we
keep
say
it a
it?
secret. It's
Do we say it?
I'm not sure. Not a lot of people know him.
Not a lot of people know him, but they're getting to know him.
They absolutely are, and they will
They're
in the
getting to know
future.
him.
Well, let's
And
keep it a secret. We'll tell you
let's
off
keep it a
camera.
secret Friday.
We'll
We'll tell you
off
Tell me
camera.
offline.
We'll explain who it is.
Off the
But
record.
off the record. But I just want to say I love you guys.
Love you too, brother. Love you,
Keep
Z.
in
It's been
contact.
Love
I
y'all.
would love to get. We're talking about merch right now, me and Guapo. We need to talk offline. Maybe get you a design in there.
We need
Yeah,
to do
man.
some collabs. For
Yeah,
sure.
we
Yeah.
need to do some collabs, homie. So I love you guys. This has been Trash Talk. Thank you for tuning in to the second episode. Big Z, thank you very much. Guapo, you're the fucking man. You're killing it. And later, guys. Thanks for coming.
All right, love y'all.
Later.
Why people climb mountains? Is it just reach the top and see the view? Well, I tell you something. Every rock and every river, every sword and every splinter, I would climb every mountain with you.